Alright, y'all, back with another video concerning this A91. Recently we did a big turbo install. What we did not know is the valve cover is a big issue on the B58. They have a built-in PCV valve. I thought it was simply it was built in this hose, but it's not. But it's actually built into the valve cover. I'm not quite sure. But what happens is once you increase the boost or go bigger turbo, you will tear the diaphragm. Once you tear that, you'll start to smoke. And doing some research, calling around, I discovered what they call this B58 blockout pin set. Now what this essentially does is, I can't show it to you right now, but it's a couple of spots up under the valve cover, and you place these pins in there, and that blocks off the port, so it can't boost pressure cannot back up into it and overload the crankcase and not ventilate it properly and enough. Right now I'd say I'm about 75% there. I've removed part of the fuel feed line to the two rails. I've removed one injector rail and 3 injectors. I'm about to do this last one, but I didn't record the front half of it, which was just removing a lot of these and plugs. Anything that touches the valve cover, remove it. Next up, or you get into what do I do next. Of course, if you hadn't undid your negative battery cable, undo your negative battery cable. That will help depressurize it a little bit, not much. Go ahead and put rags up under each rail and each connection point. I had some there, but I removed it for that. Do it, then start with this lower one. This will most of the fuel will come from, and then I moved to this one, and then just this one and this one, and then I did this one. Really no fuel leaked. I still got to go about getting those off. I don't know if it's bolt off or how it comes off, but I'm gonna play with those. Then also to note, these are ground bolts. Do not lose them when taking the fuel rail off. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Now to get the injectors out, what I had to do is go from here, and I shook the rail a lot. And you don't want to take the rail off, because it actually uses a tool that's shaped similar to the rail to pull the injectors out. You see these little plastic caps, they're not needed, but they're used during factory install. And being that I'm not taking it loose, I have no I don't have to mess with it. Also, if you unbolt them, you can tighten them down too much and they'll not be seated fully in the head. So that's another reason why I didn't unbolt the injectors from the head. Also, I don't have the tool. And shout out to Kern. I'll link his channel. I think it's Kern 412. He's a big B58 guy. Been following his tutorial on how to do this, so definitely a shout out to him. He actually used the tool, and I'll get the link for that tool and post it in the description. But me being a DIY, non-BMW guy, I did this in the garage again without everything. So everything I just mentioned, these are plastic caps, the tool, pulling this out, all got it for him. Now I'm going to clean the tips off on the injectors. As you can see, it's actually dirt down there. Don't know how, even though this sits pretty much covers that hole, but I'm gonna knock that off. But what I want to show is when you get ready to take this out, you want to get a hand up under here and pull. This side will probably come out first, and then go to this end, get a hand up under there, and then you take your other hand and put it about there, and pull up. And you once you feel this front one move, then go to the back. You should be able to get those up. Once you feel that side come up, then adjust your hand to pull up evenly so you don't damage your injectors. Do not want to damage your injectors. All right, finally the neighbors stopped cutting grass. So that's where I'm at so far with this. Plugs like this and that, you probably not gonna have to remove to get it out. But I'm finna go ahead and go about doing this again, like last time. Didn't bring my tripod, rushing out of the house, just to a new schedule and all that. So work with me here. So let me get about doing this rail, and I'll be able to show y'all how to pull that rail too by hand. Okay, for this back rail, there isn't much room to get up under this one to really, to really get any force on it. So back to my handy dandy small pry bar, and put it right up under there and get a small tug until you feel it move up, just ever so slightly. The rail is fully out now, but you'll feel it barely move. Then you're gonna go back here to the back side, and you're gonna place it like that. And with one hand, I pry it up, trying to, yeah, I think that's where I had it, about there. I pried up there and stuck my other hand here, and when I felt it move, then that's when I let off pressure and then grabbed it as a whole. Alright, now this is the back rail. Pretty sure you can't mix these up. Maybe you can. I'm gonna leave them laying like that. Quick look at the tips, if it'll focus. All right, these aren't as dirty as the ones in the front. So I'm gonna lay them like that. Let me create me some more room on the table. All right. Definitely don't want this to fall off and again hurt an injector. There you go. It's the front, it's the rear. They really look identical, other than the sensor on the front rail. So that's how you know which rail is which. Is that also these, to get that loose, is 17 millimeter. You're supposed to use E-sockets. Most of these bolts are 8s or 6s. E-sockets, but I've been using a 6 millimeter and 8 millimeter to get them loose. They're not torqued very high, so I'm able to break them loose. Next is probably high pressure fuel pump, and I got to get back there to the line and loosen it down to get that loose. All right, I've cleared out some more space. Another connector back there. This runs all the way over back there to a flex line. You can see it moving. So once I remove that bolt right there, then I'll be able to pick this up here. It's already disconnected up here. And that'll be that hard line out the way. Also, to get this little cover off the back, there's some swings in like that, and click in, just swing it, pick it up, swing. A little more access for that spark plug change, but if you need to get it all the way out, just pull up on this area really hard, That just clicked in to those right there. The other one just comes right up, and you have access to get to the back of it. Okay, got the high pressure fuel pump loose, ready to come out. When you initially take this, it don't matter which side you start on, but I'm gonna do a few turns at a time and work your way back and forth between the two until the pump kind of gives you a little wiggle. Once you wiggle the pump, then you're good to just go ahead and take one side out. The reason I say this, because you don't want to damage your piston. That spring, you don't want to bend that by letting it get caught to one side or the other. That would be a bad thing. Plus, don't forget it runs off cam lobe down there, so you don't want to, definitely don't want to hurt that part. Lay that in there. Next up for me, see, can I turn on the light? Okay, here's the light. I've already done them, but these are little valve things. They sit right back there. That's one clip, that's another clip. I just twisted them, and then I just gently laid them down. There's one on the intake and one on the exhaust side. You see that one is empty. The seal is still in there. It's laying back there. The reason I did it that way is because I couldn't get to the clips back there. I didn't remove all this cowling, and I didn't do it because this part looks like it goes up under the windshield wiper, and I didn't want to fight with realigning that. Don't see a break in it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I wanted to avoid fighting that, so I did it this way in hopes that I don't, and I have enough room to get the valve cover up and off. Finna work on taking this apart, and I will give y'all the torque sequence for it also. Again, shout out to Kern 417. I said it wrong earlier, but it's Kern 417. That guy knows his stuff, and he's a whiz on this. Not saying I couldn't have done it without this video, but he definitely saved me an hour or two, if not more. Because the first time I ever looked at this valve cover, and bird's nest to me. But with him, it's made it so easy to breeze through it. Even before I clicked on this video, I was able to breeze through just removing all the wires off the valve cover. But knowing what exactly take off when it came to the injectors and fuel rails and things like that, definitely. Just again, stand it up. Those are the only ones you have to remove. Do not remove the smaller ones, only the bigger ones that'll be there. Also, he said it really don't matter. You don't have to have the spacer to create that space, just as long as you kind of line them up right. But again, I'm gonna link y'all his video. He goes more in detail than I can really go because I don't have the tools to kind of show the difference and stuff. But that's where we're at for now. About to attack the valve cover bolts, and I think it's like 20 of them, if not more. Alright, thought I was gonna be able to get the valve cover, but don't have no clearance to get it past the cowl, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this cowl up and off. Hopefully I don't have to remove the windshield wipers. I don't have any of my 2-jaw pullers or anything with me to pull those, so I'm probably gonna stop right here for the day. But I do want to mention that here, and here is where I'll be installing the pins. I'm almost pretty sure that even though I hadn't got the valve cover off, And the reason being, you just look at the size. I mean, where else would they go in the head if that's the PCV area? And you can clearly see it connects down to the head. And I try to take some snapshots from the current 417 guy's video. He shows it on different beefy things, but there are ports that literally go from the intake chamber. I don't want to say intake chamber, wrong, but from the intake side of the head, the intake port, and it's little it's like a V shape, and it goes right up to it. So that one, it probably V's down like that into the two ports into there, and that's what allows allows it to put vacuum on it when it's not on the boost, and then when it goes into boost, it'll reach the valve cover, but it has a block out port which stops it, and I think that's integrated into the valve cover. Still can relieve crankcase pressure a different way, but as for that, it blocks it. But with the higher boost, it has ripped the diaphragm that would do that, which is why now we're getting oil and stuff in it, because it's starting to blow by. Pressurizes the valve cover and then comes back out here, which leads to the intake, which then goes again back into the turbo, blows around into the manifold, comes out the exhaust side. So that's where we're getting our smoke from, theoretically. That's my thought, according to what he said. But I'm gonna have to remove this like he said, and that should be it. And that'll let me get the valve cover out, and we'll be good to go from there. All right, y'all, I finally got the valve cover off. You have to remove the windshield wiper arms, then the cowl, and the cowl has one, no, that's an extra one, but it's about 4 bolts. It's 2 in the back. See that white right there, and then there. Oh no, it's probably about 6. So here, there, and there, and there. Then you have to lift the cowl up. It's a push pin. I'm not sure where it went, but that gets the cowl off. We got a line laying right back here. Still gotta find where it was, what it was. But it's that, and I'll show y'all what I used to get the windshield wiper arms off. Go to your local O'Reilly. It's called a Tyrrell end puller, and that'll get up under the ends of this without damaging it. A little bit of scuff on the end. Oh, well, nah. So that'll get up under there. Make sure you leave your arms in place once you get them loose, and don't move them, so they'll be real line when you put them back and remember where you had your blade at. Next is these on the back. I left these plugged in and just twisted them out. I didn't bring my tripod, but best I can with one hand. So you kind of line it up, push down flat like that, and then just rotate it. And held in by some clips. Alright, so you can see it from the top side. Up top, you can just leave it plugged in, twist like that, and then just wiggle, and it'll come right out. Same thing for the driver's side. It's just that simple. Now, just to give y'all an inside view. I still believe this area right back here is where the pins go. I'm finna go about test fitting the pins now, because they didn't give any instructions. So, but looking at when I look at their post and the picture that they posted, that's like the only clear place it could really go. This seems to be another PCV area. Like it goes down where it takes the pressure out. Guessing the PCV is in there somewhere. That sucks, but okay. Don't have to worry about that. But I'll double check it to make sure it's not going to bind up once I put the valve cover on. I may leave that out some and then just push it in. Still not hard, but it's due. But let me get around to putting these pins in, trying to put them in, and I'll get back with y'all after I do that. All right, I'm gonna do one of these pins on camera for y'all. They machined pretty tightly. But you go ahead and take it and with your hand kind of force it in so it'll stay, and take your dowel alignment thing for the dowel, place it in, hold it. Don't need any crazy type of hammer. I'm just using a regular nailing hammer. Give it a couple of light taps to get it seated. Pull it up, check. If you can still, with your fingernail, feel a groove at the bottom, then it's not fully seated. Put it back on. Should sound solid like that. And if you look at the top, you can see how it sunk down in there a little. And that lets you know it's fully seated. And then you just pull it off. And that's how you install the PCV blockout pins. Gonna go ahead and do the third one, then I'll be placing the valve cover back on. And we'll be pretty much wrapping this up, guys. And if you happen to do this yourself and unsure which holes to go into, there's literally nothing else that's big enough for those to sit into. Also, right above my finger, see those two leading to a hole, and you'll see the hole down in there. That directly points to the PCV ports, down into the intake ports. So, can't really mess it up. Simple, straightforward. As long as you use that alignment to tap it in there, it shouldn't be left or right. It should be easily centered. But finna get to putting this back together and wrapping up, and I'll give y'all a finish up video. Something I do want to note, that your cam phasers, I showed them earlier, I had them pointing up. They should be pointing down, or else your harness will not reach. They had me looking for another harness because the exhaust side will reach, but not the intake side. Then I thought, okay, let me flip this upside down, because I took them out with the cowl in, so I couldn't really see the orientation. I could only feel it. But now that I've looked at it, it goes pointed down, not up. So just a reference to remember when putting it, when taking it apart and putting it back together, guys. Alright, I meant to catch the first start since the reinstall, but jog here, the car's running fine. Checking for leaks right now. None around the fuel connection. I'll wait for the pump to quiet up. Car been sitting. Wait for it to quiet up. Make sure everything's good. But let it get up to temp, then we're gonna take it out for a test run and see if it starts to smoke again. And I'll let y'all know. But hopefully this has cleared our PCV problem.